Hermès, the brand that refuses to sell you a bag and makes $16 billion doing it. Walk in with $20,000 cash. Walk out with a scarf. You walk into the most famous luxury store in Paris. You have $20,000 in your pocket. You ask for their most famous product. The salesperson smiles and says, "It's not available. Maybe in 2 years. Maybe never. And by the way, have you considered buying a scarf today?" This is not a nightmare. This is Hermès. And it's made them $16 billion in a single year. Hermès didn't start as a fashion house. It started as a workshop that fixed the equipment on royal horses. No logos, no wait lists, no celebrity clients, just a German-born craftsman with a talent for leather who set up shop in Paris when Paris was the center of the world. What he built in that workshop, and what his descendants turned it into, is one of the greatest transformations in the history of money. The most coveted bag in history was designed on an air sickness bag, on a 1-hour flight, by accident. The Birkin launched in 1984 at around $2,000. Today, the cheapest Birkin starts at $12,000 at retail and routinely sells for $50,000 to $120,000 on the secondary market. The rarest Himalayan Birkin sold at Christie's in Hong Kong for the equivalent of $202,000 for a bag that you cannot simply buy. The money machine, how scarcity prints billions. Here's what Hermès will never put in a press release. A standard Birkin 30 retails at around $12,000. The all-in cost to produce it, leather, craftsman's salary, 2 years of artisan training, workshop overheads, is estimated at $3,000 to $5,000. That's a gross margin of 75 to 80% on their flagship product. While Louis Vuitton makes 700% markup using factory methods, Hermès makes 80% margins using pure handcraft. The difference is, at LV, a machine does the work. At Hermès, one person, one human being, makes the entire bag from start to finish, 18 to 24 hours per bag. Their signature inside. And you cannot buy it. Every year, Hermès produces approximately 120,000 Birkins and Kellys combined, globally, for the entire world. Louis Vuitton sells 40 million handbags in Japan alone. Hermès produces 120,000 for everyone. And this is deliberate. The moment Hermès makes enough Birkins to satisfy demand, the Birkin is no longer a Birkin. It's just a bag. The scarcity isn't a side effect of handcraft. The scarcity is the product. The waiting is the luxury. Here's how you actually get a Birkin. First, you become a client of your local Hermès boutique. You buy scarves, ties, perfumes, homeware, hundreds or thousands of dollars of products you may not even want. You visit regularly. You build a relationship with your sales associate. They track your spending history. They Google your home address. They check your social media. If your lifestyle meets their standards, and this is real, confirmed by a 2024 lawsuit, they may, one day, offer you a Birkin. Maybe, in the color and size they decide, not the one you want. The secrets they buried under orange boxes. The lawsuit argues that Hermès is not offering a relationship, it's running a scheme. You cannot simply buy a Birkin. You are forced to purchase thousands of dollars of products you don't want in order to be eligible to buy the product you actually came for. The plaintiffs call the $12,000 retail price a facade, because the real cost, including all the forced pre-purchases, can be 3 or 4 times higher. The case is still working through the U.S. Court of Appeals. Hermès calls it relationship-based retailing. Critics call it something else. In London's Bond Street Hermès boutique, investigations revealed that sales employees were allegedly charging customers up to £5,000 in cash for the chance to secure a black Birkin Togo, a bag that retails at around £15,000 but sells on the secondary market for over £20,000. Hermès reportedly pays no commission on bag sales, so the sales associates who hold the keys to the most coveted objects in the world found their own system. The gatekeepers started charging admission. Hermès has never publicly confirmed or denied the allegations. In 2020, a French court sentenced 10 people, including 7 former Hermès craftsmen, for manufacturing and selling counterfeit Birkin bags. These were not cheap factory knockoffs. These were bags made by the same hands that had crafted real Birkins, using the same techniques, the same stitching. Experts struggled to tell them apart. The people who knew the secret best decided to use it. In 2010, the most powerful man in luxury, Bernard Arnault, CEO of LVMH, secretly accumulated a 17% stake in Hermès without telling anyone, without making a formal offer. In France, this is illegal if you don't disclose your intentions past certain ownership thresholds. When the Hermès family discovered what was happening, they rallied, issued new shares to dilute LVMH's position, and fought back legally. By 2013, Arnault was forced to distribute his Hermès shares to LVMH investors and pay substantial fines. During the legal chaos, a reported €12 billion worth of Hermès shares went missing, unaccounted for, between LVMH entities. Nobody has ever fully explained where they went. In late 2024, Walmart listed a $78 tote bag that looked almost identical to a Birkin. It was nicknamed the Workin. It went viral on TikTok overnight. Millions of people bought it. And Hermès CEO Axel Dumas went on the company's earnings call and called it, and this is the direct quote, detestable. Hermès made $16 billion that year. The Workin cost $78. Hermès sales didn't slow down by a single percentage point. In 2024, Hermès posted an operating margin of 40.5%. To understand how extraordinary this is, Apple, the most profitable tech company on Earth, operates at 30%. Hermès makes 40% margin by literally making handbags by hand. Net profit in 2024, $4.6 billion. Hermès family fortune in 2024, €155 billion. They are, quietly, one of the richest families in human history. According to resale platform Rebag, a Birkin has appreciated 92% in value over the last decade. Victoria Beckham owns over 100 Birkins. Her collection is worth more than $2 million. And none of it was easy to buy. She had to earn each one. That's the genius. The product becomes more valuable precisely because it's harder to get. Hermès is the oldest surviving luxury house in the world. 6 generations of the same family have run it since 1837. The company is publicly listed. You can buy shares, but the family retains absolute majority control through a holding company called H51. No outsider has ever run the company except for 1 decade between 2003 and 2013. When Bernard Arnault tried to take over, the family locked him out. In a world where every brand eventually gets sold, merged, or destroyed, Hermès has survived 187 years under the same bloodline. Is Hermès brilliant or the world's most elegant trap? Hermès employs 25,000 people worldwide, including 7,000 craftsmen, almost all in France. In 2024, the company gave every employee worldwide a bonus of $4,500 after its record results. Unlike McDonald's, which fights minimum wage legislation, or fast fashion brands that use overseas sweatshops, Hermès builds workshops in rural France, pays above market wages, and trains artisans for 2 years before they touch a bag. But here's the darker question. Who can afford the product those 25,000 people make? And is a brand whose entire model depends on keeping most of the world out truly something to celebrate? Hermès doesn't lie to you. It doesn't pretend the bag costs what it's worth. It doesn't run ads telling you you need one. It simply makes 120,000 bags per year, refuses to sell them to most people who ask, and waits. It knows what humans can't resist, the thing they cannot have. In doing so, it built the most profitable luxury business in history, 40.5% operating margins, a family worth 155 billion euros, and a product that outperforms the stock market. Is it manipulative? Deeply. Is it dishonest? No. They told you exactly who they are from the beginning. You're not buying a bag. You're buying the right to say you have one. And for that privilege, people will Google your home address, charge you £5,000 in cash, force you to buy 3,000 euro scarves you don't want, and make you wait years. And you'll do all of it, willingly. That is the most elegant business model ever created. Or the most elegant trap. Hermès.